Dana's been around for 120 years. If there's something that moves around the world, Dana probably has a product on it. Over the years, we've grown through acquisitions. We had a lot of different systems that we used. What we knew as suppliers was very fragmented. It was not managed in a central repository anywhere. So if you wanted any type of data, even something as simple as how many suppliers does Dana have, it was a very difficult question to answer.
Dana's always been a fairly decentralized company with a lot of different product divisions. Over time, each one of our different product divisions had developed their own approaches to supplier management, and it was very hard to have any kind of standardization, and so the LiveSource portal facilitated more of a centralized purchasing and supplier management approach.
LiveSource allows us to take a supplier and link it to a CID, which is the one supplier in LiveSource, and then that allows us to manipulate our data globally. So if you're sitting in Thailand or Mexico and you want to look at a supplier profile, everybody was looking at the same profile. We could store documents under that supplier. We're all issuing the RFQs to the same people. So when you're doing things like sourcing or risk or sustainability, now you have the same standard from which you're measuring every supplier.
Role as a risk manager, we monitor all of our suppliers' financial condition. LiveSource lets us accept their financial statements, balance sheet, and income statement to translate what's going on with their supply base. So when we have an event, I can turn to our data and make better decisions.
With LiveSource, been a good partner in developing modules with us that we require. We have a bunch of metrics that we measure risk or financials or sustainability. LiveSource allows us to look at all the other attributes of the supplier to make a good sourcing decision.
Without the system, the manual effort to complete a risk management program would be much more difficult. There are a lot of companies that use third-party vendors to monitor financial risk. We like the idea of internalizing that data. We can evaluate our suppliers and adjust risk ratings versus relying on what an outside source is telling us.
Working with the LiveSource team has always been a real positive experience. They took our ideas, we tailored it as we went. Once we saw how successful that was, it became very clear that there were a lot of other opportunities for, let's say, advanced quality planning or the product approval process, or having a place for all of those records where we can go and see the status of the supplier systems, their latest certificates, and their performance. The use of multiple tools there has expanded over time. It makes it all globally available and visible too, which is pretty powerful.
Every year there seems to be a new challenge. Tools like LiveSource help us not only manage it, but take advantage maybe of being able to react very quickly or see something coming and be able to make sure we're positioned well in the market.